After years of being in front of and behind a stage, I've learned a couple of things. One is that I love overtures. Overtures, functionally speaking, musically contextualize what kind of performance you're about to see or hear. While the overture doesn't play every song in its entirety, it gives you bits and pieces, fragments or motifs and melodies given to you to notice and then find again through the full versions that are played out later on in the performance. Sort of a hide and seek between audience and player. What you're hearing today is the spiritual overtures, composed by these young adults. Parts of their soul's individual song, summarized in a short medley of ideas. I invite you now to listen to these works.
It is my pleasure to introduce Caden Cranwell from the Boulder Valley UU Fellowship. Caden is a genuine, kind, and deeply generous person. Since the beginning of the year, Caden was always the one to ask if there was more work to be done before going off to other things, always staying after class to help clean up. He's loyal and always thinking of others, quick to stand up for family and friends. I've learned a lot from Caden in the past year. Kimberly and Patty, you've raised an excellent human being. Reese, you have a really cool older brother. As he grows in confidence, I'm looking forward to seeing how Caden's kindness and generous spirit will spread justice and equity among those lucky to know him in the coming years. Caden Cranwell.
Everyone's beliefs may vary, but everyone believes in at least one thing that everyone else believes in. Whether it's family or friends, one thing there is. One thing that could be family or friends, a supportive community, or even a similar, something that makes humans similar to each other. I've noticed conflict can be caused because of many aspects between people, but depending on how you handle the situation, you may end up with an enemy rather than a friend who has now gained a new experience with you. Some people live life running in fear while they should be reaching for new heights, gaining their happiness. With varying beliefs, there will be conflict. Some handle conflict with an agreeable and respectful manner, while others handle it with a nasty and uncivil method. I would prefer to deal with the conflict in a friendly fashion rather than a destructive display. In different stages of life, we all need different levels of assistance. For example, a baby is always close to its mother because it can't really help itself in any way, while a teenager is drifting away from family looking for their independence. And adults are almost completely independent, even though no one is ever fully independent. People will always need people, no matter how tough you are. In coming of age, I have learned that I have grown to a young adult with much help from many different people. No one will ever be all on their own, even if they try. The people who jump for happiness live a full life compared to the people running their lives with fear.
As my first COA introduction of the morning, I bring you Marlon Crop, sorry. People not getting nervous. They have to stand up here and give their stuff. Marlon is a youth who is quickly becoming a young man with strong convictions and with an inner child that he is not afraid to let shine through and light up the world. He loves being with his brother, playing the saxophones, and playing games. At the COA retreat a few weeks ago, he surprised himself and us when he was able to sit for 2 hours of personal reflection in the snow. Attempting to move him in a direction that he is not yet wanting to go, you will find an immovable boulder of humor. But listen carefully, and buried within that humor are deep insights into the world from an independent thinker. Please welcome Marlon Crew.
I believe that all people are good until they have proven themselves bad. I also believe God cannot be found indoors, and that you must go into the natural world to connect with God and others. I also believe that God is within us, sort of like the Force in Star Wars. It flows through every living thing, binding us and connecting us. I believe that all people who need help should get help. There is one Jewish teaching that says if 100 people are asking for money and 99 of them are frauds, then you should give them all money, so the one person who needs it will get it. I also believe that you always come first and you need to help yourself before you help others. Like on the airplane, when they're describing the air pressure masks, that you need to put on yours first, then someone else's. I think that you should always make a good first impression, no matter what. Another Jewish story says that the prophet Elijah was wandering the streets as a beggar, and he goes up to a house and wants to join for dinner. The host says no. Elijah then goes and gets dressed up and goes back to the house, and the host invites him in. Then reveals himself as Elijah the beggar.
I have the pleasure of introducing Solomar Neal, Boulder Valley UU Fellowship. Solomar cares about people, her family, and nature. She enjoyed her solo journey, connecting with nature and slowing down to notice the little things. This year in coming of age, Solomar has shown how much she enjoys being in community and making friends. She has a strong sense of what she cares about and is very passionate about doing good in the world. Solomar has a real sense of doing the right thing, regardless of whether or not it is popular. She would put it in air quotes. I have very much enjoyed our time together and seeing her grow this year. Please welcome Solomar.
I believe that everyone is their own special flower. Everyone has the right to decide what direction they grow in. We might need help from friends and family to keep us upright, but we should never forget that no one can change our beautiful flowers. Sometimes we might get all caught up in technology and the future, but that means it is even more important to take a step back and remember who we really are. My family has always been there for me. Even if my teenage brain told me to hate them, they were always there, willing to talk and listen. I believe that family does not have to be blood. Some of my closest friends have become family. Family becomes friends, and friends can become family. I believe that everyone can choose how they want to express themselves. To me, that means that people should be able to love who they want, practice any religion, and express themselves how they want. We are our own flowers, and we cannot tell others that we cannot love someone because it is not the norm. People should be able to choose their own destinies and shouldn't be afraid to make them into realities. I believe that no one is illegal and that people should be able to practice any religion freely. We shouldn't have to live in fear, and we should work to make this place better and not destroy it. Although I don't believe in a God, I do believe in the power of community. The coming of age community has opened my eyes to the greater part of the world. They have encouraged me to continue my search for greater meaning and grow into my own unique flower.
introduction is Esther Ray. Esther comes to us after having moved here from North Carolina last summer. She is a creative young woman who loves performing arts, riding her horse, and connecting with nature. When she first came to the COA last fall, she resented having to come. But over the course of the year, I watched as she settled into our COA group, into our faith, and has really flourished. When she asked if she could bring her horse here to the service this morning, picturing horse patties on the carpet and trampled congregants, I said no. But even without her horse, please welcome Esther Ray.
When I was younger, I did not like church or anything to do with it, as you heard before. Now I'm starting to think that it wasn't because I was a fussy child, but rather because I didn't understand religion. Back then, I thought that religion was a structured way of life where someone worshipped a superior being up in the sky. I also thought that it was a waste of my time to go down a spiritual path and focus on my inner beliefs. Turns out I was incorrect about this. I now know that I get to shape my own beliefs the way I imagine them. I believe that religion can be used as a stress reliever to just refocus and become more aware of myself. Being in COA has really shaped me as a person and has helped me realize that religion is what you make it, not what anyone else tells you it is. Part of this whole experience was the bonds I created with the COA staff and youth, and I would like to thank every one of you for being a part of my life this year as I make my gradual transition into adulthood. Being at a UU church is a huge privilege, since the people there don't tell you what to believe. Getting to shape my own religion has been an eye-opening experience for me, as I realized that I was capable of using the idea of spirituality in any way that I wanted. Here, there are no boundaries for me, no limits, and no expectations. I am free to feel the way that I want, and I am free to believe what I believe. I believe that religion doesn't have to be worship or prayer. Religion, to me, is digging deep into yourself until you are aware of every single nerve in your body and centering yourself. To me, religion helps you realize who you, as a person, are and your significance in the world.
Tian Puanka Coral is an 8th grader here at UUCB. She began and ended the year very quietly, but I learned to listen for her strong, thoughtfully formulated answers to deep questions. Quick to laugh and fun to be around, it was a pleasure watching Tian grow in confidence and her convictions about people, the world around us, and her unique voice within it. Tim and Tony, what a strong young person who I'm confident will shape the world in significant ways. Well done. Keep it up. Tori, wherever you're at, you got a great little sister. Everyone, Tian Puanka Coral.
I believe that we can choose what we become, and that others influence who we are. You can change others by the simplest words or actions, and that may not seem significant to you. But we can choose how we act and if we change. I believe in diversity and that no matter how much we try to deny it, we are each unique. We each come from different backgrounds, and as Unitarian Universalists, we can explore diversity, ourselves, and the way we want to express ourselves. I believe in equity and equality. While not everyone is exactly the same, it should not matter where we come from, what we look like, our gender, or our job to decide our rights. But this is not the world we live in, and we are given chances to change this for the better or worse. I believe in love and the power of community. It really does take a village to raise a child, and all the Unitarian Universalist churches, especially this one.
have been part of my village. I have been immensely influenced by the people I have met in this community and will take their lessons with me for the future. I believe that we can change, but not fully. Our old selves will slip through sometimes, and we will make mistakes because we are only human. No one is perfect. We can try, but we'll fail. The Unitarian Universalist covenants allow people following them room for mistakes and error. We change, we grow, we love, we live. I believe that we are all influenced by others we know.
This past year, we, the COA guides, have enjoyed Lael's company and participation as she grew from someone who loved to make jokes and keep it light to a full participant in our conversations, engaging on a deep and conscious level. She energizes the group to participate and work on the task at hand. And of course, she hasn't lost that sense of humor. Lael is not afraid to question the rules and not shy about following her moral compass. Please welcome leader, jokester, and future gold medalist in nap-taking,
When I was little, people asked me, if you could be any animal, what would it be? I almost always said either a dog or a lion. Looking back, I think it's because they're loyal, intelligent, powerful, and close to family. During the year that I've been in COA, I've learned more about culture and religion and independent thinking than I thought was possible. I have many beliefs. This is what I think is true for now. You can become what you want, and the communities around you can help you in accomplishing this. I think that there's some kind of life force that holds us all together, like the Force in Star Wars. I can't imagine there's an old guy in the sky striking people down with lightning bolts, but there seems to be something out there. It's not a happy thought to think that you'll be a sack of bones, like in the ground for all eternity. I like to believe that I would get reincarnated, but I'm not sure. We won't know what happens until it does. I believe all humans are equal. It doesn't matter what religion, race, background, job, or the color of their skin. We're all human, and we should be treated as such. I feel most spiritual when I'm out in nature, or playing sports. I also like quiet contemplation when I'm by myself. These are the ways that I connect to something larger than myself. My favorite UU ritual is the flower communion. You never know whose flower you'll get. When I was smaller, I would seek out my favorite flower right in the beginning, then hope I would get it before someone else. And if somebody got to it before me, I would hunt them down and beg them to trade it. Then one day, I realized I just wanted a flower, any flower. These are my values and characteristics of how I want to live. Loyalty, humor, family, integrity, caring, living life to the fullest, enjoying the little things, loving, being theatrical, kindness, courage, and intelligence. I feel like my credo gets lived out in these ways. Some of them I'm good at already, and some I'm trying to work on and incorporate into my being.
Is a piece of the truth.
Let the beauty you love.
Let the beauty you love.
Be what you do.
Be what you do.
And you don't have to do it alone.
And you don't have to do it alone.
It's a blessing we were born.
It's a blessing we were born.
And it matters what we do.
And it matters what we do.
What we know about God.
What we know about